name is Kelly. Welcome to my channel, and I'm going to tell you today why I went gluten-free. I know that there's a lot of people that are going gluten-free these days, and I thought I would share with you why I did. So, I'm a little bit nervous. So about 16 years ago, my mother was really sick, and she had been having some health issues, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. She kept losing weight and losing weight and losing weight, and they couldn't figure out why. And she's about my height. I'm 5'8", and she's just a smidge under. And she got down to about 82 pounds. And so she kept eating and eating food to try and gain weight, and nothing was working. So finally she was diagnosed with celiac disease. And what that is, if you don't know, it's an autoimmune disorder, and it's really serious, and about 1% of the population, maybe a little bit more, right around there, have it. And if you are diagnosed with celiac disease, then, as my mother was, then the chances that I will have it are 1 in 10. So, back then there were very few gluten-free options. And so I began to do a lot of research, and it's kind of difficult to talk about. My mother was wasting away in front of me, and anyway, so it was very difficult to watch that happen and to feel helpless to help. And what celiac disease is, like I said, it's an autoimmune disorder. And when you have this disease, when gluten, which is found in wheat and rye and barley and spelt and oats, because they are usually processed with wheat. Well, oats in and of themselves are not. They don't have gluten in them. But normally they are grown together and processed together, so that's why you have to be really careful with oats. But anyway, so wheat, rye, barley, spelt, and derivatives thereof. So once you start looking at ingredients, it's all over the place. It's in soy sauce, it's in ketchup, it's in hamburger meat. Anyway, so I'm losing my track, I'm sorry. What happens with someone who has celiac disease and they ingest gluten? The body reacts to it, and all sorts of things happen. First off is that the body does not, it stops absorbing nutrition. So you can eat and eat and eat and eat, and your body won't absorb it. And so for about 3 days, until it's flushed through the system. And so she was essentially starving to death. And it also causes other problems, osteoporosis, infertility, problems with the teeth, tooth loss. It causes all sorts of issues depending on the person. And I want to stress that I'm not a doctor. I was with my mother through all of the testing and the blood work and the biopsies and all of that. It's a little difficult to diagnose. There's more awareness of it today, but 15, 16 years ago, not so much. So from that time on, it became a mission of mine to make my house a completely gluten-free zone. So I had to throw out everything, check labels all the time. And I have linked in the description box the organizations that specialize in celiac disease. So there are questions, if you have questions, you can ask there or talk to other people with celiac disease or gluten intolerance or, whatever. But I'm just talking about my experience with my mother and what we went through. So consult your doctor. If you have any problems, make sure you go to your physician and follow their advice. So back then, the most help that we got was from a nutritionist who, and that's really pretty standard, eat, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, stay away from gluten, da 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 da. So there were no resources at that time that I could turn to for help, or anyone that I could talk to about it, or get support, and making sure that my mother would survive was my most important thing. So over the years, I have found a lot of ingredients that are gluten-free, so it makes it a lot easier to cook. Things like bread that tastes good and is moist. I've found a way to cook gluten-free meals and all that, and I want to share that with all of you because I don't want anyone else to feel like they're alone in this, and I remember how helpless that feeling is. And when you're looking into the eyes of somebody that you love and they're starving to death and you don't know how to fix it, it's really, you just feel really helpless. I did. So I want to empower other people and to let you know that you can have good food. You can cook regular meals, holiday meals, treats. They have a gluten-free brownie mix now and cake mix and stuff like that. So that was the first part of it, and I had gotten things down, so I was handling the food well, and I share a house with my mom. She has one part of the house and I have another, and that works out really well for us to have our space, and also so that I can care for her when she gets sick. So the second part of this is that I had no idea that gluten was in other products like soap and face wash and cosmetics, and I feel really, really awful about that. And how I found out was my mother got really sick last year and she'd been in the hospital, and so she was doing better, and I saw this fancy schmancy shampoo. It was expensive, and it was just, I wanted to do something for her, woman to woman, friend to friend, mother, daughter to mother. sort of thing. I just wanted to get her something to make her feel good and make her feel normal again and all that. So I was really excited, and it came, and she was all excited about it, and you know, it's just like, it's not necessary, but it was just a nice treat. So what happened was, uh, by the way, Gatorade is gluten-free. Awesome company. So anyway, within a day or two, she came to me, and I knew that she wasn't feeling well, and she said, "Can you help me? I really feel like I'm getting gluten from somewhere, and I can't figure out why." So I went through the house, went through everything that she had had in the last few days, and I couldn't find anything different in the house. And the only thing was this shampoo. So I looked at the ingredients, and right on the back, the ingredient label, is wheat protein. So of course I panicked because I had essentially poisoned my mother, and I was horrified, and I'm still horrified. And I feel really stupid because I had no idea that gluten was in other stuff. So I got on the computer and I started doing a ton of research. And that's when I found out it's in all of these things. And that's why I went through all of my cosmetics and my moisturizers and my shampoos and everything, all of my cosmetics, and I did a whole series to de-gluten them, and I'll link that below. So I've been doing more research about cosmetics and you know, just basic everyday items. Toothpaste. Toothpaste has gluten in it. So, vitamins, stuff like that. So, anyway, so I've cleared out all of the gluten in every corner of the house and in my mom's area and everything. And I've been really pleasantly surprised with some companies that are mainstream that are gluten-free, and I want to share those with you. So that's the whole reason why I started doing this. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I buy everything myself, and I want you guys to know that you can live a full, normal life if you have celiac disease or gluten intolerance. And you have to be careful, but you can go to the store and you can buy cosmetics. You can buy foundation and eyeshadow and mascara and lipstick and all of that, and feel good. You know, cosmetics are obviously not necessary for survival. But for some, it's something that is empowering and makes us feel good for whatever reason. And so I just want to share what I've learned with you. And I'd really like to hear from everyone who's watching this, and share with me any food that you found that you enjoy that's gluten-free, recipes, cosmetics, soap, shampoo, and I'll be sharing with you as we go on things that I find. So really, that's it. You can be healthy and beautiful from the inside out, because that's what I believe is beauty starts on the inside, and who we are inside, and what we put into our bodies and on our skin, and all that stuff. So I hope that this explains a bit about why I started my channel and why everything is gluten-free here. And I talk so much about that. And I just want to be of service. And I don't want anyone else to feel like I did, like my mother did. I should also add that while initially I was only focused on my mother and getting her stable and thriving again, I didn't think about myself. And it turns out that I have all of the symptoms of celiac disease. And while I have not been formally diagnosed yet, that's a process that takes quite some time. I have all the symptoms, internally, externally, and so I live gluten-free. And so that's it. I hope that this is helpful, and you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. Feel free to leave comments in this video, private message me if you like. I'm very, very happy to be of service to you or to anyone that you know. I'd love it if you'd subscribe and participate in this community. Um, we're all in this together. And so with that, be well, be healthy, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Thanks.